is going to be a check-in from Vince Matthews, the Progressive Network's policy analyst, and it's going to be a brief report on redistricting and fair maps. Vince Matthews, are you?
Good evening, everyone. I guess as many may know, if you don't by now, the census results have been delayed until July. They anticipate that most states, all states should have it by July 31st. With that being said, naturally, having the requisite data to draw maps and engagement and the process is all will be delayed. Sort of, putting that in alignment with a little bit of a pause right now so that we can coordinate our local petition drive with the focus around Richland County strategy with the adjustments beginning first. Is sort of the direction where we're gauged out on right now. What I would say is that just in terms of emphasizing the significance of this will be the first redistricting that the state will be having without pre-clearance. And so, which means that we're seeing the first round of impact without the federal government having to take a look at the maps first. So I think there's some additional strategies that we at the network will be looking at in terms of alignment, in terms of litigation and down the lines. All these things sort of do come together as the process does. So with that said, I'm not going to belabor it much longer unless someone has some additional questions.
Any questions for Vince or any questions on fair maps? Rick, I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute. Yeah. When the data comes out, is that easily accessible? Is that publicly accessible? Do we get that data?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Because when we get a hold of it or get access to it, I want to get a hold of the database and just to take a look at it, familiarize myself, and maybe come up with an idea. Okay. Thanks, Vince.
Good.
Vince, when does the legislature start to work on the redistricting?
From what I'm gathering, they won't announce a process until the results come, because they're on sort of this half-year schedule. The guess would be, or part of the challenge, maybe that they will bring in special sessions between that time and the legislative date. I don't know. I haven't heard anything as of this juncture, but either way, that gives us time to prepare for potential options, what that's going to look like.
Are they working behind the scenes? I say that because I spoke to my representative about 6 months ago, and he told me that they're starting to talk about it. That was 6 months ago. So.
Yeah, what I anticipate is that people need to realize that the data by statute has always come back on March 30th during session. And so they would start having the meetings, the closed door meetings about who they don't want in their district. That ain't gonna happen. And so what will happen is the caucuses, the Republican caucus, the Democratic caucus, there used to be a black caucus, but it's now the Democratic caucus, but all of the groups will be meeting and talking about the numbers when they get them, and also preliminary to what you're going to do. What Vince mentioned about us working on it in advance, one of the beauties of having a fair map is it's easy. We can get our maps out there before anybody else, because it's hard to decide that you don't want, Rick Petalounis in your damn district. So how do we draw that line to get rid of Rick? And Rick, by the way, is a professional statistician, has been helping us. And so we have some time to seed the field. And then also we are going to do something that we haven't lifted up, but it's been in the plans all along, is to participate in the gerrymandered system, because everybody's going to be at the table with maps, we're going to be at the table with maps. And so we will be in the room when they cut the pie, and we will have our maps in there. We have sponsors that will be in those rooms in both the Senate and the House. And our maps they're going to have to explain why their maps are so promotive of the incumbents getting to draw the lines that protect their incumbency, which is one of the actually de jure problems we have in drawing lines, is that the incumbents can draw lines to protect themselves.
But I thought they did it behind closed doors.
We're in the room with closed doors. We have members in the room with our maps, legislators. Cecil.
Given that they're only going to get the data at the end of July this year, and given that the Republican conference and the Democratic caucus obviously are going to be working on their own versions of the maps to pre-file before session begins next January, what do you think is the likelihood that they're going to appoint a study commission? So they've already got some entity of the legislature working on it through this fall to preempt any individually pre-filed bills that may come up this December or next January.
I don't doubt that they will attempt to do that, but we will also compel them to have the type of hearings that they always have. They'll do hearings in the congressional districts with their maps and let people have some kind of democratic dance before they screw us. And so we'll have the opportunity to raise hell all the way down the line, and we're going to lose. I mean, the existing system will prevail. Our fair maps aren't going to become reality, and so we got a lot more work on them. But during the time that they do what they're going to do, and the Democrats are going to they'll be fighting for a few more safe seats. The Republicans will be doing much the same, and we'll be the ones saying safe seats are a problem. And so I think that we can come out of it in better stead, and that there's no time frame on redistricting. There were 4 or 5, I can't remember, redistricting maps, sessions implemented in 1990 when the white flight from the Democratic Party changed all the dynamics in South Carolina. And so you can keep having redistricting things. So we can force that as people understand, oh, now we see what you've been saying.